Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4! And today, sporting in the southeast corner of the map, playing in blue, we've got Corvinus playing as the Ottomans. And battling out against him today, hailing in from Germany in the northwest in red, we've got Crackedy here as the Zhu Xi's legacy. Welcome everyone to Hidden Valley. Hope you guys are having a great morning, good afternoon, and as always, maybe a good evening, depending of course where you are in the world, and we're in for some hopefully cracking Age of Empires 4 action. Two interesting civilizations, not necessarily the most popular, although to be fair, the Ottomans are pretty popular. The Ottomans, hailing in the southeast, opening up with a military school, which is, I don't know, I feel like a lot of things have changed with the Ottomans recently, especially on the public update preview, which is the patch that we are watching this game on today, which will be coming in Season 9. Lots of changes to discuss, especially with the Ottomans as it happens. But he is sticking with the age-old, tried and tested military school. The question is whether it will be enough today on Hidden Valley or not. I'm not so sure. It's a very slow structure to get going with units. Obviously it scales very well with blacksmith, increasing the production rate of it, but until that happens, it's a little bit underwhelming. Obviously he's going to get a couple of spearmen out for free, but it just takes a long time. Look at that, another minute. Already 1 minute and a half into the game, and of course, by the time the spearman actually gets across the map on a map like this, Crackedy would have already had the gold that he needs to get in for the feudal age. It's a very big map and a very closed-off map in many ways. No real direct access to each other in the middle, unless it gets to sort of 30 minutes into the game. That's the sort of time that actually players do venture out into the middle. You know, they kind of chop through the trees by then and can make their way directly against each other. Up until that point, though, they kind of have to play for the flanks and look to get the resources off the map. Speaking of which, what's quite nice about this map is, especially for the civilizations like Zhu Xi Legacy, very boomy. Like, you've got the deer camp right here, quite close, very hidden, very secure, and there's no real way to punish it as such. The Ottomans, of course, have got the same tools, but they don't necessarily have the booming potential that the Zhu Xi Legacy have. I think this map is kind of suited for civilizations like the Zhu Xi Legacy. Could quite easily see them go for a fast castle. Probably going to get the scout back and push the deer camp towards the mill to get the tax and also the gather rate on this. And then with the castle age coming on in, pick up some of those relics and potentially then work from there. The question is, Riley, whether the Zhu Xi Legacy then adds in a second town centre in the castle age can be done, but against civilizations like the Ottomans could be a bit tricky, right? Because you expect the Ottomans to be very aggressive. But we will have to see how Corvinus decides to play this. Now, the Ottomans do have some good strengths in the sort of the Imperial Age, the late game. With the great bombards, they can be, pretty effective. We shall see how he decides to play this. Now, we are certainly seeing more of a play to the Sultanhani trade network. The Twin Madrasa has been a strong staple for the Ottomans for quite some time. But I guess on a map like this, where it's relatively hidden, food is, nice and safe there. It does make a lot of sense to go for the Sultanhani trade network. Of course, he's probably not going to actually be trading with this, but you can have up to 10 traders inside here. You start off, I think, with 3 or 4 for free. I believe it's 3 unless something's changed, but yeah, you get the gold trickle in quite nicely. As the Ottomans with that landmark. Meditation Garden is going to be popping up soon as well, mostly on berries and stone as it happens. And actually, the passive generation from stone could be what equips him with enough stone to get to the second town centre in the castle age. We'll have to see, because it's not always the case that Zhu Xi likes to do that, especially if he's under a lot of pressure from the Ottomans. Now let's talk about changes. The Ottomans, they've actually got 4 new vizier points from the Imperial Council. There were extensive fortifications, which allows the garrison arrows to be replaced by crossbow bolts. So when they garrison inside units, the crossbow bolts come out, they do +2 damage versus heavy units. Great if the enemy is looking to raid. Palace guards could be struggling against that potentially. And then you've got the Timurites, which enables cavalry archers to be trained from the archery range and the military school. So it's a new unit for the Ottomans. Kind of excited to see that potentially here today. They've got Pax Ottomana, which allows the villager production speed to be increased by 50% by 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Quite nice if you're going multiple town centres. And then you've got a great bombard that can spawn as the last and new vizier point. It is an early version of it, so it kind of scales. If you do get the Imperial Age, it automatically upgrades. But it's still a very strong unit to have in the Castle Age. The Zhu Xi Legacy play a little bit different than the Chinese. Sometimes you see a Song Dynasty nice and early for the Chinese, but the Zhu Xi Legacy like to wait a little bit. Like to go for the Castle Age first, get relics, and then potentially go for Song Dynasty, or multiple town centres as well. Depends how greedy they want to be. The Song Dynasty, what it does is Makes the main use really is for the farms. A really cheaper farming transition when they need it the most is super powerful to keep the war machine alive and smooth and running and pumping for the Zhu Xi legacy. There's a blacksmith now that the Ottomans are in the feudal age. So the spearmen, they just can't really do too much, right? They've been walled out and they haven't been able to achieve too much since the beginning of the game, which is a bit unfortunate. I mean, the early military school does delay the feudal age timing for the Sultan Hani trade network, and so, you know, the passive resources generation is a bit slower to kick in because of that. But still, it's got a couple of units on the map at least, and it did force in some of the palisades. And crackedy is now going to push in the deer camp as we kind of expected to see in the map. Now, I would like to say a very big thank you for everyone who's been supporting the channel. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you, as always, to the YouTube channel members and Twitch subscribers. Special shout out to you guys. And also, of course, not to forget the YouTube super chatters. Thank you. You guys are absolute legends. And if you have been enjoying the content, make sure you are subscribed. More importantly, hit the notification bell. I'll be uploading maybe a castled game every about 2 to 3 days, roughly. Usually every other day, every 2 days. Just not to overwhelm you with content, but also just for quality control, because I'll be just uploading the very best games that I cast, and so it's not easy to get daily content because of that. But I just want to make sure that the games I posted are, you know, the solid ones. Making a bit of a playpen for himself here, making sure he can't be raided. Corvinus, playing it safely and securely. But castle age coming in already. That's how fast they can really do it with the supervision from the Imperial official. It's incredibly strong here for the Zhu Xi legacy. He's going with the Shaolin Monastery, going to get those monks out and going to be able to get the relics in pretty quickly. It's very difficult for the Ottomans to punish that. Now, he does have the military schools operational, expecting to see Sabahi before too long, but he's going to need a lot more units to deny these relics, that's for sure. Corvinus is just hanging out there with the scout, just so he knows what to expect and when. He's going to add in the stable as well. So it definitely looks like a very heavy feudal age for the Ottomans. Looking to deny the relics, ideally. Of course, trying to match the Zhu Xi legacy with the castle age timing is almost impossible. There is that first Shaolin monk on the field. An incredibly strong unit as it happens, by the way. Has got a good amount of damage, 15 base damage, but also has the ability to heal itself. So very powerful at that. Also, able to activate the body of iron. Reduces incoming ranged damage by 50%. Unlikely to see too much of that, though, in terms of ranged attack from the Ottomans, at least for now. I still have a dream that maybe we'll see those horse archers. We'll have to see. Could be an interesting playstyle, actually. I'm not sure the utility of that unit in this particular matchup, because Palace Guards are going to probably do okay with him. Maybe Chukunu won't be able to do as... Yeah, I don't know how valuable horse archers are going to be here. Well, we'll see if that ends up being an eventuality for the Ottomans or not. Either way, they'll definitely need a front line to protect them. Now, first relic is in play, but unfortunately the Shaolin Monk shouldn't be able to escape. He does activate the body of iron ability. It doesn't really help him too much here. Does get taken out in the end, and that's a good denial. It's a good start here, but that's the first aggression that's come out, really. But what I would say is the Ottomans' war machine is starting to get rolling, right? Got 16 units on the field. He's putting some pressure, diving a little bit too close there. The two spearmen getting a lot of arrows in the button. Does lose one of them. Probably going to lose a second as well. Going to try and chase. Yeah, it dies anyway. I'm afraid. Loses 2 units there, unfortunately, there. Here comes a second relic in now for crackedy. I'd be kind of curious to see if crackedy does opt for a Song Dynasty, because he's going to be finding it difficult to venture out into the map. It's going to take a bit of damage here potentially. Villagers are backing away. A couple of spearmen involved. Shaolin monks though, they're getting some good damage output, but a good number of units. Going to try and snipe out one of these Imperial officials if he can. He doesn't quite manage it. Garrison's inside the village. And unfortunately, I don't think there's enough units here for Corvinus. He's not going to get any value. He's not going to kill a single villager, would you believe? And he's lost most of his army. That's the benefit of having the town centre on the resources so close by. Shaolin Monk going to push that away on himself as well, which is kind of crazy to think about, right? It's a strong, strong unit. Mehta making his way on the right side. Another supply on the west side. Oh, could snipe this Shaolin Monk. Just missed on it. Oh, no, has spotted it now, actually, as it happens. Shadow Monk goes down pretty quickly there. Lots of units on hand for Corvinus to challenge that. Now, double blacksmith. He's looking to just make sure all of the production buildings are being boosted. Understandably so, because it's not a bonus you can just forego, right? 20% in the feudal age, 30% in the castle age. It's really good enhancement for sure. Sabahi, though, might struggle against the number of spearmen on hand. He might need to switch to range unit. In fact, you know what? The horse archers might do well in this particular scenario, because there's a lot of spearmen on hand. The horse archers will do okay against those. Has to get the vizier point for it first, though. Villagers now venturing out on the west side. Where are they off to? Are they off to the boar? A bit risky, but he is establishing a bit more map control and presence now that he's got a couple of spearmen on the field. We'll see how far he ventures off, and he's not too far away from the castle age, which he's already in the castle age, but a second castle age as it could be thought about. But that's kind of crazy, right? We're 11 minutes already. He's been in the castle age for several minutes, and it's got so much food coming in. It's crazy how much the imperial official supervision really kicks in. All right, looks like he's going to go for a bit of the safer option on the berries. I wonder whether Corvinus actually ventures out here. Now, he can't take the boar. Obviously, the Ottomans adhering to the Islamic tradition. He can't take the boar meat, but he can certainly take the deer meat. Spearman brace. There's a lot of Sipahi, so he should be able to take this down in the end. He does activate the ability. Fortitude. Receives... he gains 50% attack speed. But it does actually... Was that actually a good usage of that? Because it receives 50% more damage from melee weapons. Kind of curious to have seen that. Great against ranged units, of course. That's a lot of Sipahi, a lot of spearmen on hand waiting to pounce on something and anything. It's a bit of a shame he doesn't know about this, though. That's a lot of villages that are ripe for the taking. Actually venturing down the north, expecting to see Crackedy on the deer camp, but he's not venturing that side. Of course, fully walled off on this side. Looks like Crackedy actually wants to make a play on the west side, really, because it will be denying the deer camp here in the south, and he's also taking the berries on the west. Not risking it with an imperial official, though. Some all-important upgrades coming on in. Wheelbarrow. And also survival techniques, I think that is, for the Zhu Xi legacy. Surprising, considering he's not really on deer as much anymore. He was mostly taking it at all. But is he thinking of maybe taking the... I think he might be thinking about the deer camp in the south. He might be trying to sneakily take it. Probably my explanation for survival techniques, to be fair. He's got a couple of lancers, about to take the engagement. A couple of horse archers are on the field. Horse archers, I should say. It was cavalry archers. Spearmen engaging on that front line. There's a good couple of lancers for the Zhu Xi legacy getting around the back line, and that's unfortunate for Corvinus. He took the fight with those spearmen, and well, there's not enough spearmen really to do too much damage against the lancers, although he's making it work slightly. Good number of reinforcements coming into the fight with the Sipahi, but with the number of spearmen on hand there for Crackedy, he should push that back really nicely. And there's not enough horse archers. Cavalry archers, I've got to get used to it. I'm so used to the ruse. Cavalry archers, not enough of them just yet to take out these spearman numbers. There's a lot of them after all. But you know what? He could be actually making them from the military school potentially. He is. Look at that. Getting them from the double military school. And also he's got triple archery range production as well. Let's just take a look at this unit. It is a new unit after all. 100 food, 80 wood. Pretty expensive as things go. High mobility. Long range cavalry which fires 2 arrows in quick succession. That's pretty cool actually. Double attack on that in regards. But that's a lot of spearmen. He can't engage without front line. Sabai can do some work against that, but you know, not ideal, right? Of course the spearmen get bonus damage versus cavalry. Plus 23, and that's a bit disastrous. Oh no, the pathing. No, the cavalry archers went way too close and they suffer so much because of it. Now, it does 9 ranged attack, but it is 2 burst attack, right? So effectively 18 per shot. Spearman tanking. There's a good number of lancers. Villagers having to back away. He was a little bit greedy there with those. He's trying to get the deer camp, and he's really struggling. But he should be able to win this fight overall with the meta involved and the horse archers, cavalry archers. Oh god, we're going to count up how many times I make that mistake. But cavalry archers do end up clearing up the spearmen, and Crackedy's military number is not looking all that good. He's got a lot of villagers here exposed. He's trying to go for the deer camp, but he needs those outposts quick time. And if I think Corvinus knows about this, right? He's still trickling in a couple of units, and this is fine for Corvinus. So Spearman will take out those lances really quickly. He's got a couple of cavalry archers as well, focusing on the Spearmen. And he should win that fight pretty comprehensively. He's going to see it with the villagers now, but the question is, does he commit? There are 2 outposts. They are starting to get the hand cannon slits. In fact, this one, yeah, they're going for the upgrade first. Oh, he's going to be torching this one down first. And yeah, that's fine, actually, to be fair. Villagers come out to repair, but the horse archers are on hand to take them out. There's a good number of villagers here. I've got to say, this is a good pick-off by Corvinus. I think it makes a lot of sense to commit to this. He's got a lot of villagers fighting, so it's a lot of idle time. But if he picks off all of these villagers, then Crackedy's economy is going to be hit very hard. And it looks like that might be the case. Has got the fortification. He's trying to... Oh, that's lovely play, though, to try and drag in those spearmen away from the torch damage. It's a significant number. Eventually, this will go down. But that's a lot of villagers, guys. 12 villagers, 11 villagers. They are being idled out by this. I mean... Yeah, I mean, I guess to be fair, at the end of the day, Crackedy will be losing 5 if he does get this cleared up. But I love this play again. Lancers dragging away the spearmen. Villagers come out to torch and heal up, repair. He's going to repair it quite a large amount, actually. They do garrison back inside. Only 2 remain, though. Needs to focus fire on them if he can. Needs to get those villagers killed. He does repair a little bit before losing another one. 1 remains. But you know what? It's down to 9 villagers here. Down to 8. This is okay for Crackedy. Yeah, he's going to lose all the villagers, but it caused a lot of idle time. And he killed a couple of his villagers as well. Might even get a couple more. If he gets these 2 that are very weak in health, that'd be an absolute major pick-off. He's going to try it, but spearmen are on hand to defend, so thankfully for Corvinus, he survives with those 2 villagers. They have a lot of idle time caused, and in the meantime, he's been on the board. Overall, I think that works for Crackedy. Sure, his economy is a bit hit and a bit hurt, which is kind of surprising, actually. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, he's got 45 villagers versus 53. Oh, I guess the traders, right? Yeah. Corvinus has been scaling traders from the Sultanani trade network that whole time. So now he's going to go for the Jingnang Tower. That's going to give him the Song Dynasty, and he's got the wood already banked up, right? He is thinking about farming transition, and it is about that time, actually, as it happens. 17 minutes, and let's take a look at the middle. To be fair, there's a lot of wood still left there. Corvinus has made a good indentation into his wood line, though. Those villagers on board need to be careful. Snags up another relic. The Ottomans, yeah, he's looking for the food income, and he's going to spot it, but the switch to Palace Guard is absolutely lovely, because they've got a really good fast movement speed. They'll rip through the spearmen that the Ottomans have, and if they catch up to the horse archers, cavalry archers, oh my god, the cavalry archers, then, yeah, they're going to suffer. They're going to struggle. Just 1 scout there. Those villagers will be fine for now. It's good aggression coming from Crackedy, despite having the lower villager count. He's still pumping. And tell you what, once he gets the farming transition in play, it's going to be absolutely massive. That food income's going to skyrocket. Struggling on it for now, but probably not for long. Corvinus still stuck in the feudal age as it happens, by the way. Make no mistake about it, that's a big deal. $1,500 wood, and if you're wondering why is he floating so much, it is certainly in preparation for a farming transition, which he will need soon. But he's not committing to just yet. Is he opting for a second town centre? It almost looks like he is, actually, with the amount of gold that's coming on in. Yeah, he is, actually. And I actually quite like it, because sure, it's going to scale the economy, but look what it does as well. Acts as a really good static defense for the farms behind it in some ways. Really nice move here from Crackedy. Bear in mind, the Song Dynasty does make the town centre cheaper too. Oh, does it not? Wait. I'm on the wrong position. Yeah, there we go. 280 wood, 350 stone. So it alters the wood cost at least quite significantly. And that means more wood in for the farming transition, which as you can see is now starting to come online. Second town centre. This is where it becomes a bit of a problem for Corvinus, because he has to do damage. Sure, Crackedy's behind on villagers, but that won't last for too long. Bear in mind that the extra villagers that Corvinus does have is not scaling, it's just stuck at 10 now. It's not going to be increasing beyond that. Looks like he's going to try and chop through down the middle though. Oh, cavalry archers. I got it right that time. He's going to snipe out the villager, the Shaolin monk. Down he goes, but 4 relics in play for the Zhu Xi legacy. Not a bad haul. That's for sure. The question is, where does this game go on from here? You feel like there's going to be highly armored units. I wouldn't be surprised to see more palace guards. There they are. Lots of them. Now, palace guards' crossbows could be a really strong army composition if a Zhu Xi legacy. It deals with pretty much most of what the Ottomans can throw at them. Certainly, you would want to avoid cavalry in the long term. The lancers were there for the mobility in the early stages for the Castle Age for Zhu Xi legacy. But I'm sure he's going to want to steer away from that. Mostly because of the threat of the Janissary, incredibly powerful, although there aren't that many of them, to be fair. Corvinus really sticking in with the cavalry archers. And he has ventured out onto the deer camp, probably second time lucky this time. We shall see. He's got a good sizable army. Whether it's enough to deal with what Ottomans have or not, that's the question. Obviously, defender's advantage is a big deal here too. He does have survival techniques he got earlier. Going to look to try and get a village so he gets more population and able to be safe and secure. Only building with one villager though. That might not be enough. He spots this. He sees the army. Corvinus sees nothing just yet. Doesn't have much vision without a scout. He sees the outpost now. Villagers need to get that village built ASAP. Did he cancel or something? It seems like it started all over again either way. Of course, they build a lot faster. Spearmen tanking the front line. Now the Janissary is going to rip through the cavalry. Holy moly, those lancers got taken down in a blink of an eye. But now he does have some veteran Chukunu. He has got the palace guards tanking the front line. Spearmen are torching down the village as it happens rather than fighting. And that leaves the cavalry archers exposed. I'm not so sure about this from Corvinus. There's not much of a front line here. And those spearmen and palace guards are going to rip through the cavalry archers, trying to focus on the spearmen as much as he can. But there's just not enough. And I think Crackedy should be able to get away with this. Believe it or not, the cavalry archers definitely need a meat shield in front of them. Going to try and focus on the Chukunu as it happens. And he will be able to only be able to escape with 3 cavalry archers. Not a lot. Just not been able to take some good fights here at all, Corvinus. Looks like, with this massive veteran Chukunu actually is a nice approach. Rather than, he's got a lot of gold cost going into the palace guards. So rather than investing in crossbows, he's going to go for the veteran Chukunu, which incidentally do cost a bit of gold, but not as much, of course, as the crossbows. 40 gold for a crossbow, 20 gold for a Chukunu. Looks like he's going to venture a bit further forward, Corvinus. He's going to try and snap out the Chukunu as much as he can, but yeah, this is a hard hold. Like, everything that Crackedy has here is countering more or less what the Ottomans have. Look at that farming transition. That food income is going to be skyrocketing for Crackedy. Look at that. It's actually almost keeping on par with the Ottomans, to be fair. They've had a farming transition as well. But he is starting to place some new ones. It looks like Corvinus has not given up on this position. He wants to challenge it. Understandably so. A lot of free food being gathered here otherwise. Lancers aren't surviving too long. Palace guards taking that front line. The trouble is the front line from Corvinus is not all that powerful. Although you should win this fight now. There aren't any palace guards, no more cavalry for the Zhu Xi legacy. Only these veteran Chukunu, which will be taken apart. Actually looks like the horse archer is doing a good job. Don't forget, these are just feudal age units. Yeah, they're doing a decent amount. Now, Crackedy does have a couple of idle villagers. Oh, they're back out again working. But he's starting to stem his army back. Look how many production buildings he's got, though. Not that many, actually, as it happens. He's plonking down more. He's going for stables. Potentially go for horsemen, maybe? It's a bit of a tricky one, right? See, it does certainly look like veteran horseman is in. Horse archer's going to try and kite as best as they can, but the horsemen can chase down pretty quickly. Question is, will he get to a critical mass of horse archers? Cavalry archers. Holy moly. Cavalry archers. Can he get to a critical mass? That's the question. They do look like the horse archers, I wonder if they actually have a different model. They look like they do, actually, as it happens. But yeah, that second town centre has really brought Crackedy back into the game. Courtesy of the Song Dynasty, it was a lot cheaper as well. Yeah, he's really cemented this position. Because his outpost has hand cannon slits and it's got the defensive upgrade as well. So good whopping 1,800 HP on it. But you know what? The horse archer numbers, the cavalry archer, oh my god. Okay, I wonder if someone's keeping count. But yeah, the cavalry archer numbers are starting to climb. He's got the meta involved as well. And I think he could potentially win this fight as things go. He's got the defender's advantage. A couple of spearmen going to be tanking. Surprised to see spearman numbers actually as it happens, because there aren't that many cavalry, although he's kind of expecting maybe horsemen to come through. I don't know if he knows about the stables that Crackedy made up above. Looks like Corvinus should win this fight. Quite nicely actually as it happens. And is he... Yeah, he's mass walling on the right side. It's actually not protecting too much, unfortunately, for him. No gold veins there. Speaking of which, the 8,000 gold veins, where are they actually? Well, there's one. Where's the second? Is this bugged? There's only one on this... Oh, there it is. It's all on the right side. Crackedy's already out there. Now, 2 rams, so relatively heavy investment, but it's going to be paying off because it's going to deny this outpost and take 4 villages rather, and also deny the deer camp being taken. Let's take a look at the middle now, because I can imagine Corvinus must be chopped through. He almost is. Maybe he might try and push down the middle at some point. But yeah, that food income is now skyrocketing. 1,600 per minute for Crackedy. But he will lose a couple more villages. Has got one of the sacred sites. The question is, will he go for the one in the middle? Well, he can't really. He needs to chop through first. He's got the one on the right, so he's got 2 out of 3. With 4 relics, his gold income should be really good. It actually really is. More than double what Corvinus has got so far. He will be going to the Imperial Castle Age, rather. I thought it was Imperial Age because it said Istanbul Imperial Palace, but of course it is just the Castle Age. At 26 minutes. It's super, super delayed, but that's the power of the Zhu Xi legacy, forcing the Ottomans to play an extended feudal age. It's kind of crazy to think about. It's been in the feudal age for almost 27 minutes. Crackedy, he's pumping these horsemen out, a lot of them now. There's so many stables. He's actually sprinkled in a couple of lancers too. Despite the threat of janissaries, he wants to go for the cavalry units. He wants the mobility. Understandably so, because this is a map where it's a bit tricky, right? Almost like 2 lanes to start off with and a 3rd lane down in the middle at some point as you chop through. But the mobility will help Crackedy to reinforce his army at strategic locations. Now with the Castle Age in play for the Ottomans, going to go for the upgrades, of course, to the veterancy for the cavalry archer, veterancy for the Sipahi, and veterancy for the spearman. Really mixed army as it happens. But I love this play by Crackedy. He recognizes that gold is an issue, and this gold vein here is going to be the key, and this one too. Those are the 2 last remaining gold veins that Crackedy needs to make sure he covers. And that will really inhibit the Ottomans to be able to produce those premium units, because he's only got 2 gold veins at home. One's practically gone, obviously the primary one barely has any gold left inside, and the secondary one is being worked on at the moment. It's going to break through with the palisades with a good number of veteran horsemen now. Look to try and break his way through. But of course, good quick walls there from Corvinus actually as it happens. But he's going to push through on the west side. That's a lot of ranged units. That could be problematic for the Ottomans, no doubt about it. I mean, that's a lot of units. Looks like he's going to just break on through. The palace guards as well on the right side. He's threatening. He's not pushing in just yet, but he is threatening to. And bear in mind, a big part of why he's going for horsemen is there is a new upgrade for the Zhu Xi legacy. It's called Dali horses. All the cavalry gain 20% attack speed, which is pretty strong. It's available in the feudal age, and looks like he's got it actually as it happens. The attack speed is buffed there. You can see 1.56 attack speed. It's a lot better than your regular horseman now. He's pushing down the middle. Oh, a bit of a trap there. He was trying to go for the villages on wood, but Corvinus, he's broken through and he's going to make a stone wall. He's going to trap these units, and guess what? Look what he's got back behind this. He's got a great bombard, but still a lot of his units are on the right side. A lot of veteran spearmen, which could be tanking some of the shots here, but I mean, this could be dangerous for Corvinus. He's got a decent number of units. He has trapped the Zhu Xi legacy army. Question is, can he clear it up? That great bombard is going to become pivotal. I mean, it does have splash damage, right? So he's got to keep it protected. It's pretty unguarded as it happens. Wait, the army is split. What is going on from Corvinus? He's got to fight together. He's got to keep the Great Bombard secure and protected. He hasn't. The Rams are slowing him down. He's got to get that out of the control group. The Lancers are on top of the Bombard. Oh, this is not looking good. There's Palace Guards as well. He's going to lose that Great Bombard, and there it is. Oh, no, that could have done so much damage to the veteran Chukunu, but it won't do anymore because he loses it. Corvinus is going for the Istanbul Observatory to the Imperial Age, but crackedy beats him to it. And crackedy now in the Imperial Age. Oh, half the army just wasn't fighting there for Corvinus. They come in now, but is it too little too late? He's trying to use the ram to try and body block and repair it, but yeah, this is looking a bit too dicey. It's just way too many Chukunu, and well, he's actually winning this fight, would you believe? Despite being quote-unquote trapped, actually, it's not that crackedy's trapped, it's actually Corvinus. There's still a lot of veteran Chukunu standing and fighting, and there's not enough horse archers, cavalry archers. I will get it right one day. The cavalry archers are all dwindling now. Corvinus down to 5 military. There is no way back from here, and it will be the Zhu Xi legacy that takes over the Hidden Value. It came to a bit of a weird ending, but that bombard just wasn't protected for Corvinus, so he has to tap out. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell, because we've got plenty more cards games coming up, and you're going to want to watch the next one. I'll leave an end card on your screen right now. It was a cracking game. Take care, and see you next time.